You're watching S&V Outdoors. Discover the world around you.
Hello guys, and welcome to another video in S&V Outdoors. My name is Mitch, and we're going to be checking out different types of reels for fishing today. So I've got a few different kinds out here laid out on the table. I've got a bait caster, I've got a spin cast, and I've got what we just call a push button. Oops, I'm banging stuff around. What we call a push button, okay? So I think in one of the last videos, I showed you a push button, which is one of the beginner ones. Some people really like them. You can get high-end ones that are, got all kinds of different types of bearings, and you can get some high-end ones if that's the style that you like. And I would suggest pick the style that suits you the best. I would say the one that is the easiest to use by far is the simple push button. Okay, the simple push button is probably by far the easiest one to operate and work with. Next on that list, I would say if you're going to be fishing for crappie or bluegill or some sort of fish that don't get really large, they're fairly small. A great one is a spin cast. Now, you can catch bass on a spin cast. I just usually like using the ultralight rods, which they're the ones that the rod is really flexible, and I like using a spin cast combo on them. And a spin cast, how they work, I don't know if you can see, how they work is the top opens up. You actually hold the line. You actually kind of hold it, at least that's what I do, hold it up here, and you open the face of it. I don't know if you can see that. Open the face of it, and then you hold the line with your finger, and when you cast it, instead of having a button that you let go of, you just let go of the line with your finger, and it spools off the top of the spool here. And then when you go to crank it back down, it will then wind itself back up, except I just messed it up. Trying to do this with it connected, and then it winds itself back up. So that is a spin cast, and I like these for when I'm fishing for, like I said, bluegill, crappie, things. In fact, this one is absolutely my my crappie one. This is the one that I use to go fishing crappie with. And then my all-time favorite is a bait caster. Okay, now bait casters are a little bit different in the way that they operate. They're kind of like a push button, but not really. So on a bait caster, it's all controlled with your thumb. The reason that you see lots of professional fishermen using this, as well as any of us, like I use one of these. In fact, this is one of my secondary ones. I've got like 2 or 3 of these. My son has like 2 or 3 of them. The lure is so much easier with this because how it works, there's a push button here. But you press this button with the back of your thumb, the heel of your thumb, because you want the tip of your thumb to rest on that spool, see? So you want it to be resting on the spool, because the minute you press that button down, it will release the spool. The spool can now freewheel, it can now turn. And what you don't want is you don't want what's called a backlash, right? I don't know if you've ever heard that term, but a backlash is something that nobody ever wants. What happens is the spool spins, but the line does not go out. And so what can happen is it can kind of like fuzz up, and you'll see, it can fuzz it up in here. So when you cast one of these, you always want to let your thumb ride on the spool. So you don't press down on it, otherwise the line's not going to come out. You want to be able to just let your finger just kind of coast on it. Let the spool spin under your finger, because that way, the minute the lure hits the water or whatever, you want to press down on it with your thumb to stop the spool from spinning, so that way you don't get a backlash. We'll do probably a video just on bait casters, but I just wanted to create a short video showing you guys the 3 different types that I use the most. I would say definitely for beginners, the push button. Then the spin cast, it's like the push button, It's just a little bit different. And then lastly, yeah, the bait caster, which requires more control, and it requires you to control the spool and how fast the spool spins, when it stops, and all that stuff. That is controlled in this, and you can really control and get pinpoint precise on where you're casting your lure with one of these. In any case, I just wanted to show those to you. Stay tuned for more fishing videos. I'm going to be showing how to use the open face reel or the bait caster. It's going to be a lot of stuff. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Give me comments down below. You have any questions, just let me know. Not a problem. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.